Well, good day to you all. It's me, Rebecca, here on a brand new episode of the Learn Flute podcast. These audios are made by yours truly, inspired by you, awesome online flute learners. I'll help you become the really great flute player you've always wanted to be. This is episode 48, and today I'd like to share an experience that I had this past week with you. Be right back.
You can do it, and Rebecca will show you how. Step by step, all along the way. Introducing the Learn Flute Podcast.
Well, good morning, Learn Flute Online. Well, it is morning here at my place where I'm recording this episode right now anyway. I hope that you're having a beautiful week and are keeping your goals of learning how to play the flute front and center, because I'm here to help you with yet another little piece of the musical puzzle today. I just love reading the questions and comments you all give me. It helps me to see exactly what you're doing and what stage of learning you're in. A few days ago, I was able to be part of a really neat performance. Now, I think I should share this little experience with you now as a way to demonstrate one of the great blessings of being able to play an instrument like the flute. One of my students, who's been coming here to my studio in Utah here for years and years now. In fact, if I count, she's been coming for about 10 years now, and now that I think about it. Anyway, she's a sweet girl who was unfortunate enough to get in a horrible car accident involving a semi a couple of weeks ago. My heart was just broken when I heard the news, and I started following the story and finding out how many pieces and parts of her body were in turmoil. Without going into all the details here, I'll let you know that she is going to be okay and is actually home from the hospital recovering now. It'll be a long recovery, but she will recover. And so that's the really good news. Well, anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is because I live in such a great community that there were so many people who stepped up and volunteered to help and rally around her and her family. Her brother was also in the car accident, so there were many friends concerned and willing to step up to the plate and do whatever was necessary to help out with the costs of the ambulance rides and the life flight helicopter rides, etc. And actually what we chose to do was to put on a benefit concert. How exciting, right? So many people started coming out of the woodwork and donating items from their businesses. There were treadmills and couch sets, and paintings, etc. There were so many great brand new items. I was just amazed. We put them in a benefit raffle with actually a whole concert full of some really great music, which was considered a free concert, and you could just get in by donation only. I love being part of this kind of thing. It makes you feel so good that you can use your time and your talents to benefit the lives of others. It's just super satisfying. Now, I made the call to gather some of my advanced flutists, and what I did was I asked them to prepare a certain movement to a double concerto that I thought would be really upbeat and lively and perfect for the type of evening that we were hosting. I trusted them to pull it together and to be prepared. We only had about 5 days to get ready, so there was going to be a certain level of dedication needed to pull this off. I also hired a really great cover band to get the crowd really going. And that's another thing I should mention here, is that as a musician, you start to get to be friends with lots of other musicians, and we all look out for each other. It's great. We find opportunities for performances, and we swing them in the right directions when possible. Now, this particular band that I hired is headed by an amazing performer and musician that I know who has toured all over the United States, and he's very well known and popular and very self-driven. He's a really hard worker and the real deal. And that's one thing many musicians are. They're self-driven, just like you. Now, I know you understand what it takes to dig in and put in the time and effort to learn something worthwhile. I know this because you're here right now listening to this. So kudos to you. Anyway, that concert was a couple of days ago, and I'm happy to announce that it was a complete success. Many people showed up and participated in the silent auction and came into the concert. The entire huge auditorium was full of life and buzzing with excitement that these young students were okay. And it was almost like a celebration of spared lives. It was kind of neat, huh? My group of flute students pulled together, practiced hard, stuck together, and played beautifully together as well. Now, I'm not sure how many people that you know who could memorize several pages of a double concerto in less than 5 days, but my students did, and they are awesome. We performed calmly and flawlessly. I was super proud of them. It's not every day that you get to be a part of something big like this, but musicians have an uncanny knack for being able to pull this kind of thing off. Enhancing the community with exciting and stimulating events is just one of the traits of an accomplished musician that we acquire over time. Now, confidence on stage is not always inborn or usually inborn, but learned through a series of events. And oh, how important in life that skill is. I will do anything to help my students gain confidence so that it can also grow to they can become an icon in their own communities. You know, someone who is like that go-to person that someone or anyone can call when they need to put on an event like this. I was proud to be part of it, proud to have my connections, and proud to be able to perform something at the drop of a hat, and also proud to be part of something so worthwhile and creative. There was a lot of money raised also that evening, and in some ways, it's kind of mind-boggling how quickly that happened. Well, enough of that today. Thanks, and let me ask you what types of events you have been able to be part of that maybe directly or indirectly because of your musical skill you have acquired or you're learning to acquire. Have you been a part of anything great like this? I bet you have, or you're going to be soon because you are learning the skills and what it takes to get things done. It doesn't have to be something exactly like my description today, but I'm sure if you put your thinking cap on for a minute, you can think of something that you are uniquely qualified to give service in. Service is an amazing byproduct of a musical skill. It's really cool, and I hope you pat yourself on the back for it. Put your thoughts here in the comments section today. You'll all be hearing and reading this at different times depending on what level and stage in my program you are, or if you happened upon this in the actual podcast directory, maybe iTunes or on YouTube. Either way, it doesn't matter. Leave your comment here, and within time, we'll have more friends commenting, and we'll see a really good discussion happening all on this subject. Well, thanks again for joining us. Again, I hope that you had time to come into the membership area and take a lesson this week. The beauty of these online lessons is that you can do it anytime, anywhere, in whatever you're wearing. It's that easy. Bye now.
Thanks for listening today. Remember that this is where people of all ages, such as you, can come, learn, and play the musical instrument flute in an easy-to-follow, organized manner, and in the privacy and comfort of your own home, on your own schedule.